Let's start with a phrase we've all heard 1,000 times. If you just work hard, you'll be successful. Sounds comforting, right? It gives us hope. But if that were true, every teacher, nurse, and delivery driver would be rich by now. And they're not, because hard work alone doesn't guarantee wealth. Now, before you roll your eyes, this isn't one of those quit your job and buy crypto videos. This is about understanding how the money system really works. See, the rich don't necessarily work harder. They just work differently. They don't trade their time for money, they make money work for them. And once you understand that difference, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. From the time we're kids, we're sold a dream. Go to school, get good grades, get a stable job. That's the path to success, right? School trains you to be an employee, someone who follows rules, meets deadlines, and depends on a paycheck. It teaches you how to earn money, but not how to make money work for you. You get paid just enough to stay comfortable, but never enough to leave. That's not freedom. That's dependency, dressed as stability. Picture this. You wake up early, fight traffic, work all day, and come home exhausted. You get paid, you pay your bills, maybe you save a little, and the cycle repeats. Then one day, you get a raise. Awesome. So you upgrade your life, nicer car, better apartment, more dinners out. But now, your bills go up too. Congratulations, you're still broke, just at a higher level. That's the rat race. Running faster doesn't get you out, it just makes the wheel spin quicker. The rich, on the other hand, stepped off the wheel entirely. They realized they didn't need to run harder, they needed to build the wheel. And once you own the wheel, you get paid every time someone else runs on it. Let's pause here. What separates the rich from everyone else isn't luck, or IQ, or even opportunity. It's mindset. Poor and middle-class people work for money. The rich make money work for them. They see money as a tool, not a goal. A hammer can build a house or smash a window. It depends on how you use it. Money's the same. For most people, money ends at spending. For the rich, spending is just the beginning of a new investment cycle. When they earn $1, they ask, how can I make this dollar bring me more dollars? They're not obsessed with saving, they're obsessed with multiplying. If you take one idea from this video, let it be this. Rich people buy assets, not just stuff. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out. Most people think their car or house is an asset, but unless it's generating income, it's not. It's just a shiny liability. The rich know the difference. They buy things that pay them back. Dividends, rent checks, royalties, these are the real paydays. Their money earns money, and that money earns even more money. It's a snowball effect called compounding, and it's the quiet force behind every fortune. Let's say you invest $500 a month at 8% annual return. At first, it doesn't look impressive. After 1 year, you've made a few $100. But stay consistent for 20 years? You've got over $275,000. 30 years? You've crossed $500,000. That's not magic, that's math. The rich understand this early, so they start early. They give time for their snowball to grow while most people are still figuring out how to roll it. If the rules are so simple, why isn't everyone rich? Because most people never make the mental shift. They keep thinking like workers instead of owners. They focus on earning more income, not building more assets. They chase pay raises instead of ownership. They upgrade lifestyle faster than they upgrade cash flow. And worse, they fear risk more than regret. But here's the irony. Not taking risks is the biggest risk of all. Because the system is changing whether you like it or not. Inflation erodes your savings, automation replaces jobs, and the economy keeps rewarding owners over workers. If you don't adapt, you fall behind. It's that simple and that harsh. So, how do you escape? You start by thinking like the rich. Instead of asking, how can I earn more? Ask, how can I make my money earn for me? That question alone shifts your entire trajectory. It forces you to learn, to take calculated risks, and to see money not as something you spend, but as something you deploy. Because at the end of the day, your money is your employee. If it's sitting idle in your bank account, it's just on vacation. Put it to work. Let's pick up where we left off, because this next idea might be the biggest financial aha moment you'll ever have. The rich don't chase income. They chase cash flow. It sounds like the same thing, but trust me, it's not. Income is something you work for. Cash flow is something that works for you. Picture two people. Person A makes $200,000 a year at a stressful job. Person B makes $6,000 a month from assets, rental properties, dividends, online royalties. Most people would say Person A is richer. But Person A is stuck. If they stop working, the income stops too. Person B, on the other hand, can take a month off, 6 months off, even a year, and their lifestyle doesn't change. That's the difference between being paid and having cash flow. The rich build streams of income that don't require their constant presence. That's how they buy their time back. That's how they escape the cycle. If you grew up in a middle-class household, you probably heard something like, "Save your money, don't waste it." And don't get me wrong, saving is important. But saving alone is never enough. Because while your money sits in a bank account earning 1%, prices are going up by 5%, 8%, sometimes even more. You may not feel it day to day, but it's happening every time you buy groceries, pay rent, or fill your gas tank. This silent killer has a name: inflation. Imagine putting $10,000 in a box and burying it for 20 years. When you dig it up again, the number is the same, but its buying power is much less. That's what inflation does. It eats your money while you sleep. Rich people hate inflation too, but instead of ignoring it, they fight it with assets. Inflation makes savings weaker, but it makes assets stronger. Let's look at how. Housing prices rise over time, real estate becomes more valuable. Companies raise prices to match inflation, stock earnings increase. Rents go up as the cost of living rises, landlords earn more. To the rich, inflation isn't a problem, it's a tailwind, a built-in boost to their wealth. Meanwhile, the average person keeps cash in a bank, wondering why life gets more expensive every year. Here's a real example. A wealthy investor buys a property with a fixed-rate mortgage. Inflation goes up. Prices go up. Rents go up. But his monthly mortgage payment stays the same. So every year, the tenant pays more. And the investor pays the same. Inflation is literally helping him get richer. This is why the rich don't fear inflation. They prepare for it. They build systems where rising prices actually increase their wealth. Let's talk about systems, because this is the biggest difference between the rich and everyone else. Most people work inside a system. The rich work on the system. Employees clock in. Entrepreneurs build the clock. Employees follow tasks. Owners automate tasks. Employees rely on one income. Owners build many. Think of a vending machine. You fill it once, and it gives you income every day. That's how the rich view money. They build little machines, businesses, investments, rental units that operate without them. Once a system works, they duplicate it. One rental property becomes 3. 3 become 10. 10 become a portfolio. One side hustle becomes a business. That business gets employees. Those employees help the business grow. This is how wealth scales. Not linearly, exponentially. Let's be honest. Building systems is not easy. That's why most people don't even try. Here are the 3 biggest barriers. 1. Fear of risk. People say things like, "What if it fails? What if I lose money? What if I look stupid?" And sure, risks exist. But you know what's riskier? Staying in the same job for 40 years while the cost of living doubles. 2. Lack of knowledge. Most people were never taught about cash flow, taxes, investing, business, leverage. Because these topics aren't in school curriculums. Why? Because schools teach employees, not owners. 3. Comfort. The paycheck feels safe. even if it's not, even if inflation quietly eats it, even if companies lay off workers by the thousands. Comfort is the enemy of change. Let's break income into 4 categories. This is something wealthy people understand deeply. 1. Earned income. Money you work for. Your job, your salary. This is the least efficient type. 2. Profit income. Money you make from a business. Higher risk, higher reward. 3. Investment income. Money from stocks, dividends, real estate. This is where wealth grows. 4. Passive income. Money that comes in no matter what you're doing. This is the holy grail. Employees rely on Category 1. The rich focus on Categories 3 and 4. That's why they don't work for money. Their money works for them. Middle-class families often get stuck because they follow the script. Work, earn, spend, repeat. Whenever income goes up, lifestyle goes up too. They buy bigger cars, bigger houses, more subscriptions, nicer vacations. Meanwhile, the rich follow a different script. Work, earn, invest, grow, spend later. They buy assets first, luxuries later. Middle-class people build lifestyle. Rich people build leverage. A paycheck is addictive. It gives you structure, validation, predictability, comfort, but it also gives you limits, dependence, taxes, no control, no scalability. A paycheck pays your bills. Assets pay your future. You need income. But you can't rely on income alone. Not in a world where technology replaces jobs. Not in a world where inflation erodes savings. Not in a world where ownership is the only path to security. So, after everything we've uncovered, cash flow, assets, systems, leverage, inflation, ownership, let's bring it all home. When people hear the phrase, "the rich don't work for money," it sounds like a riddle. But now you know the truth. The rich don't work for money because their money already works for them. They don't rely on a paycheck. They don't depend on someone else's company. They don't trade time for income. They build machines, financial, digital, or business systems that keep producing value long after the work is done. And here's the good news. And today, you do. You've learned the principles that quietly run the world. Assets over expenses. Cash flow over salary. Ownership over labor. Leverage over effort. Growth over comfort. Systems over grind. These aren't get-rich-quick hacks. They're the rules of long-term freedom. The rules the wealthy have used for generations. And if you start applying even one of these ideas, just one, your future will look completely different. If this video opened your eyes even a little, make sure to subscribe to Alpha Atlas, where we break down finance, economics, and wealth building in a way anyone can understand. No jargon. No hype. Just clear explanations that reveal how the financial world really works. Thanks for watching.